Chapter 4. The story of Cain and Abel. Now, Adam had slept with his wife, and she conceived and bore a son named Cain. She said, "By the grace of Yahweh, I have birthed a man." Then later she gave birth to Cain's brother, Abel. Abel grew up to be a shepherd, and Cain became a farmer, working the ground. After some time passed, Cain presented an offering to Yahweh from the produce of the land. Abel also brought his offering from among the finest of the firstborn of his flocks. Yahweh was very impressed with Abel and accepted his offering, but with Cain and his offering, Yahweh was not pleased, making Cain very furious and resentful. So Yahweh said to Cain, "Why are you so angry and bothered? If you offer what is right, won't you be accepted? But if you refuse to offer what is right, sin, the predator, is crouching in wait outside the door of your heart. It desires to have you, yet you must be its master." One day, Cain said to his brother, "Let's go out into the field." When they arrived at the field, Cain arose and attacked and killed his brother Abel. Then Yahweh said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" He answered, "How do I know? Am I my brother's keeper?" Yahweh said, "Listen, the voice of your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. What have you done? Now you are banished from the land, from the very ground that drank your brother's blood from your hand. When you try to cultivate the ground, it will no longer produce crops for you, and you will be a fugitive, a homeless wanderer." Cain said to Yahweh, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Look, you've thrown me off the land today, and now I must hide from your presence. As a fugitive and wanderer on the earth, anyone who meets me may choose to kill me." Yahweh responded, "Not so. If anyone kills you, I promise the sevenfold vengeance of Cain will be released upon him." So Yahweh put an identifying sign on Cain as a warning so that no one would dare kill him. Then Cain left the presence of Yahweh and journeyed to the land of wandering east of Eden, the family line of Cain. Cain slept with his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. Cain was building a city at that time, so he named it the village of Enoch. After his son, Enoch's son was Irad, and Irad's son was Mehujael. Mehujael's son was Methuselah, and Methuselah's son was Lamech. Lamech married two women, Dawn and Dusk. Dawn gave birth to Jabal, the first of those who lived in tents and raised livestock. Jabal's brother was Jubal, the first of musicians who played instruments. Dusk gave birth to Tubal-Cain, the first of blacksmiths who forged all kinds of bronze and iron tools. His sister was Naamah. Lamech boasted of his wives to his wives, "Listen to me, Dawn and Dusk. Mark my words, O wives of Lamech. I have killed a man for wounding me, and a young man for bruising me. If killing Cain costs 7 lives, for Lamech it will cost 77. Adam slept with his wife again, and she bore a son whom she named Seth, meaning appointed. For she declared, "God has appointed for me another son to replace Abel, because Cain killed him." After many years, Seth had a son named Enosh. During his lifetime, people began to worship Yahweh and pray to him. Chapter 5. Family History of Adam and Eve. When God created human beings, He made them in the likeness of God and created them as male and female. After he had created them, he lovingly blessed them and named them humanity. So here's the family history of Adam and Eve. When Adam was 130, he fathered a child in his own likeness and in his own image, and he named him Seth. Adam lived an additional 800 years after Seth was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Adam was 930 years, and then he died. When Seth was 105, he fathered Enosh. Seth lived an additional 807 years after Enosh was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Seth was 912 years, and then he died. When Enosh was 90, he fathered Kenan. Enosh lived an additional 815 years after Kenan was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Enosh was 905 years, and then he died. When Kenan was 70, he fathered Mahalalel. Kenan lived an additional 840 years after Mahalalel was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Kenan was 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel was 65, he fathered Jared. Mahalalel lived an additional 830 years after Jared was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Mahalalel was 895 years, and then he died. When Jared was 162, he fathered Enoch. Jared lived an additional 800 years after Enoch was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Jared was 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch was 65, he fathered Methuselah. Enoch walked with God for 300 years after Methuselah was born and had many other sons and daughters. Enoch and God walked together as intimate friends. Then God took him to himself, for he was seen no more. The lifespan of Enoch was 365 years. When Methuselah was 187, he fathered Lamech. Methuselah lived an additional 782 years after Lamech was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Methuselah was 969 years, and then he died. When Lamech was 182, he fathered a son and named him Noah, saying, "He will relieve us from our hard work and painful toil, and from the ground that Yahweh cursed." Lamech lived an additional 595 years after Noah was born and had many other sons and daughters. The lifespan of Lamech was 777 years, and then he died. After Noah had lived 500 years, he fathered Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Chapter 6. God grieves over human wickedness. When people began to populate the earth, they had many lovely daughters, divine beings, found them very appealing. So they took the women they wanted as their wives. Yahweh said, "My spirit will not strive with humanity indefinitely, for they are mortal. Their lifespan will be shortened to only 120 years." Back then and later, there were giants on the earth who were born as a result of the unholy union of heavenly beings with the human daughters. They were the mighty ones of old, warriors of renown. But Yahweh saw how extremely wicked humanity had become, for they imagined only evil. For all they thought about was doing evil all the time. And Yahweh was saddened, and he had made humanity, and his heart was filled with pain. So Yahweh decided, "I will do away with my ruined creation, human beings that I created, people, and animals, creeping things and flying birds, for it breaks my heart that I have made them. But one man found grace in the sight of Yahweh, Noah. Noah pleases God. This is the story of Noah. Noah was a godly man of integrity, without fault in his generation, and he lived close to God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Injustice and violence filled the world. The earth was ruined in the sight of God, for he saw how debased the world had become, for everyone was corrupt to the core. So God said to Noah, I have decided that all living creatures must die, for their violence has filled the earth, and I will wipe them off the face of the earth. Build a boat for yourself, an ark of sturdy timber, and this is how you are to design it. Make separate compartments within it, and seal it inside and out with thick tar. The length is to be 450 feet, its width 75 feet, and its height 45 feet. Cover it with a roof, but leave a gap of 18 inches at the top for ventilation. Construct a door on the side of the ark and design it with lower, middle, and upper decks. I'm going to release a great flood that will destroy all life upon the earth, and every breathing thing under heaven will perish. Everything on earth will die. But as for you, I will establish my covenant of friendship, and you will escape destruction by coming into the ark, you and your wife, your sons and their wives. Bring with you into the ark a pair of every animal, male and female, and they will also be spared. Different kinds of birds, animals large and small, 2 of every kind I will send to you to be kept alive. Also take with you every kind of food, both for you and them. So Noah completed all these preparations and did everything exactly as God had commanded him.